You wouldn't build a house without a foundation. You wouldn't build a house without a foundation, so don't build your business without one. This is Mindset Monday, where we lay out the tools, frameworks, and mindset you need to scale your contracting or trading business today. All right. Welcome back to Mindset Monday. And apparently it's the Monday glitch day. Go figure. But here we are. We're excited to be in front of you on this beautiful Monday morning. Hell, I'm going to call it spring. I'm just going to be real because, I don't know, it's nice and warm outside. So we'll take it. We will take it. Again, my name is Gerritt Bake. I am the founder of Build Pro. We run systems to scale contractors. That's what we do. We are here in conjunction with our good friends over at Contractor Plus. You're going to hear more from them here shortly. They got some really cool stuff happening right now. If you are not on Contractor Plus, have not seen V2, it is going to blow your mind. So you guys know the drill. If you're here with us live, we'd love to see you and shout you out. So go ahead and give us your name and your business name and where you're from. Ground Fog gives us the good old hand wave. Welcome, my friend. We got Rachel Pritchett with NSP Construction out of West Virginia. We got Nancy Hodges says hello. We got Jesse and James Sieverts with, oh yeah, the smiley face. Come on, man. Don't mock me. We got Nancy says, Mercury is retrograde, all the glitches. Yeah, good luck. Good luck to everybody. Daniel, our good friend over at Noble Custom Glass and Mirror, checking in from Buford, Georgia. We've got Jesse James from Jesse James Outlaw Electric in Grantsville, Utah. R&R Lawn Service from Chesapeake, Virginia. Hey, I'm going to be out there in a little bit. My son and daughter-in-law are stationed in Norfolk, so we'll be out in your neck of the woods here in a couple of weeks. Then we got Richard from Modern Energy Solutions, Utah. Again, if you're with us live, go ahead and drop your name and your business name, and we'll give you the good old shout out. By the way, we are trying this thing on Facebook. We are going live on Facebook for the first time. So if you're joining us from Facebook, love to hear it. If you're not, hey, too bad, so sad. Let's see. We got a couple more here. James Gutierrez with TJW Contractor. Welcome to the show. And Valiant Home Editions, rare join for me. Hey, it may be rare, but we are glad that you're here. Oh, that's James. There you go. There's my buddy out of, what is it, Northwest or Northeast Arkansas? One of those places. So here's the coolest thing, right? It is Monday, and I get jazzed up about Mondays. Some people dread Mondays, right? They're like, it's 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday. They're like, I don't know what I'm going to do on Monday. I got jobs to handle. I got people to handle. I got all these things that are going to happen, but I don't know how to handle Mondays. So they freak out about Mondays. They don't sleep well on Sunday nights. Listen, I sleep like a baby. I wake up at 4 a.m. Yeah, call me crazy, but that's what I do. I wake up at 4 a.m. and we are rocking and rolling. It is Monday, man. So excited. Think about this. Like, what was the reason that you became a contractor? Wasn't so you could sit and wait for the phone to ring. I'll tell you that, right? A lot of you became contractors because you were really good at a specific trade: plumbing, electrical, framing, roofing, whatever it was, right? And all of a sudden you're like, hey, you know what? Like I can do this. I can build a business. So you start to go out, shake hands, get some BBs, right? You may join a networking group. All of a sudden you are getting leads, you are getting job opportunities, and then you're busy, and then you're like, shoot, I can't do this on my own. So you're like, what do I do? What do I do? You go hire somebody. Now, where do most people start their hiring process? Their cousin Jimmy or their neighbor Bob, right? They kind of pick from their, what we call our warm circle, right? The people that we know, like, and trust. They may not know how to do your trade, but you know them, you like them, and you trust them, so you bring them along for the ride, right? And it's you and your buddy, right? Let me tell you about me and my best friend, as the song goes, right? And you guys are just cruising along, right? Doing that thing, right? And then all of a sudden, you're like, shoot, I need to hire somebody else. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have enough time to answer the phone, send out all the estimates, go on all the jobs, send out all the invoices, do all the books, right? And you get super busy. And what happens? We're like, man, I gotta get serious about this thing now. Right? I gotta put my big boy pants on, right? I gotta hire a team. I need some office staff, right? I need some field work. I gotta buy some trucks. And all of a sudden, what you used to think that you were very confident and comfortable in, running a business, all of a sudden became something completely different, right? Like, Show of hands, how many of you, I'm curious about this, show of hands, how many of you have a business degree? Like you went to college and you got a piece of paper. It was either business management or something to do with business, maybe even an MBA, right? Like how many of you guys got a business degree? Or waiting for those answers, we got Julie with Burton's The Plumbers in Pink. Welcome, Julie. It's great to see you. So how many of you guys got a business degree? Well, let me tell you what the statistics say. The statistics say that less than 5% of contractors get a business degree. And yet they are required to run a business. They have to get licensed. They have to get insured. Now they're managing people. Now they're managing books. They're offering financing, right? All of these things are happening and nobody gave you a playbook. Nobody gave you a course or class. Nobody showed you how to do it. And so you're just what? Winging it, as they say, right? Now, again, when you start, it's okay to wing it because you're just figuring stuff out. But when you start to bring on people, things change. Let's see. We got a couple of answers here. James says, me, 30 years after I went into the industry. Yeah, you probably got a master's from the School of Hard Knocks. Congratulations. Most of us get that. Jesse says, not us. Again, not a bad thing. Daniel says 3-year for a 2-year business admin degree I never got. Yeah, you got some classes. So, hey, you got something out of that. We got Nancy with Hummingbird Handyman, teaching degree with a master's. Oh, wow, partner has an MBA. Well done. Well done. And then we've got the American Remodeling and Construction, in West Virginia. So you can see even from the answers here, very few people ever get a business degree. Now, I don't want to minimize a business degree. I have a degree in business management. But this is what I'll tell you. Probably like me, you're not going to remember a lot of your schoolwork. In fact, the only finance course that I remember was one where the teacher said, hey, don't forget the law of supply and demand. As long as there's a demand, there will be a supply, period. I was like, oh, bingo, love it, right? Which is why you're seeing private equity come in because there's such a big demand for a lot of your trade businesses, okay? Now, back to the conversation. You get to a point where you start to become overwhelmed, okay? And it's not that jobs aren't coming in. It's that all the jobs are coming in. And I'm talking the $50 repair to the $500,000 remodel. And then the problem that most contractors have at this point is they're given equal footing to all jobs. All jobs are not created equal. Let me repeat that because you're probably driving down the road. I don't know, maybe you're in the McDonald's drive-thru ordering one of their new Big Macs. Don't be like their boss and be like, this is really good. What? Right? We don't want to do that. Not all jobs are created equal. Okay. So why would I tell you that? You're like, wait a minute, but I need all the work because I need it to grow. I need it for cash flow. I need it for insert whatever your excuse is. Not our jobs are created equal because of a couple of reasons. Okay. Number one, and most important, not all jobs will pay you the amount of money that it's worth to do that. Okay. There's a couple of those. We call them PITAs, right? Pain in the ass clients. Nobody wants to work with them. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, the margin just isn't there. I know a lot of you guys like to get jobs on Facebook and, through your little, online things. The problem is when somebody posts on Facebook and says, looking for an electrician for a job in my house, there's 32,374 plumbers electricians who respond, I can help you. Like, how are they going to filter through all that? And even if they do and they get to yours, now they're going to be saying what? Hey, well, Johnny over here says he can do it for $1,000. What about you? And you're like, well, shoot, I'm not going to make money at $1,000, but I need the money. We can do it for $990. And you play the race to the bottom. Okay. So I go back. Not all jobs are created equal. Okay. Number one, and most important for you at this point in your business, by the way, I don't care where you are in business. If you're just starting out, if you're doing a few $1 million a year, you need to understand not all jobs are created equal. And you need to understand what jobs you actually want to do. Because if you're taking jobs you don't want to do, in the end, you're not going to want to do them anyway. You're going to do a crappy job and so your guys, and you're not going to make money anyway. Or the ones with little margins or no margins at all. Okay. Now, let me put the little asterisk, right? The little star that says, hold on, there is the exception to the rule. Here's the exception. If you're working for production builders, it is all about volume. All about volume, and your margins are going to be thin. But with the volume, if you play your cards right, you should be okay. I'm going to assume that nobody here does that. So we'll just throw that out there. If you're working for homeowners, if you're working for remodelers, if you're working for builders, if you're doing commercial, if you're doing industrial, if you're doing government work, doesn't matter. The most important thing for you is to find the jobs that make sense for you. Now, what jobs make sense for you? That's the question, right? So I'm going to show you a little video here. This is from one of our clients, Thomas, and we're talking about this very same concept here. So let me see if I pull this up here. All right. Tell me what you hear in this little clip here.
If it's not $10,000, we're not doing the job. And I mean, I've turned away work like crazy. And frankly, what I do is I send it to everybody else and let them worry about the $6,000 job. Whereas now I'm focusing on those $10,000 jobs. And that's changed our average project size. I think last year we were at 18.5. This year we're averaging between 35 and 40, right? Just by saying no to below 10,000. You got to find out what you want to get to and focus on that. Because then everything you do when you do that, it's all with that in mind. My marketing is specifically for bath. My marketing is specifically for kitchen or whatever that is. And for me, that's been a huge jump for us. If it's not $10,000.
All right. Now, what did you guys hear there? Okay. Not what did you see, but what did you hear there? For me, it was two things. Okay. And this was the most important. And this is what we're really going to focus our conversation on today. Number one, most important thing was Thomas had to learn the power of a word with two letters, the most powerful word in the human language, and that is no. Now you can add thanks to the end, right? But ultimately it's no. The word no. Why? Why is no the most powerful word in the human language? Because it forces you to focus. Give you a perfect example. This week I had an opportunity to take some training, some team-related training, right? And I really wanted to take this training because it's really where we're helping our clients right now. And it was unfortunately Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 1 for 3 weeks. Okay. Now the majority of my work happens during that time. So could I have done it? Yes, I would have had to rearrange everything to make it happen. The problem is it would have distracted me or taken me away from where it is that I want to go right now. So it's a hard answer, but it's no. Okay. Which again, then allows me to focus on what I need to focus on. Let me give you another example. Okay. In our commercial construction management company, last year was our first year in business, first 6 months. We did 500 and something thousand in our first 6 months. Okay. Going into this year, we've already landed $2.5 million in work. Okay. Now, why do I say $2.5 million in work? Because I want to show off? No, actually I don't. Okay. Because there was a problem that happened. And now mind you, we're in March, still a problem. The problem is it's outside of the scope that we feel comfortable. Now we're going to make it happen. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But it's outside of the scope that we're comfortable. We landed an electrical and HVAC bid for a large 5/2, retail and residential complex. And I landed it because of my relationships, and I landed it because we're halfway decent at pricing. Okay, so I landed it, but now I got to figure out how to fulfill it, which is distracting me from what we are actually really good at and what we should have said yes to and said no to this. And that is framing, paint, drywall. Like those are the 3 scopes of work that we crush it. We crush it. We'll probably do another 2.5 million this year just on those 3 scopes. So why do I tell you that? Because what I've learned, okay, is inside of business, you can get super distracted by saying yes to everything, which is going to keep you from saying yes to the stuff you really want to say yes to, right? Our team can crush a framing, paint, drywall bid. Like literally, we can turn it around same day. I say that without the super big projects, but we can turn it around same day, right? Which is great. But with electrical and HVAC, I can't. I don't have the expertise. My team doesn't have the expertise. And it's really hard for us to do. Okay, so we have to learn to say no, right? And that no is going to free us up to land more projects, bigger projects, but more focused projects, okay? Now, why am I telling you this? Well, you heard Thomas talk about this. Last year, actually, it was the year before last, so I take that back. So year before last, let's call it 24, okay? He was averaging about 18,500 a job. Now, that's not bad. For a lot of you, you're like, man, I'd love to average 18.5 a job. Great, okay? But once you get to that point where you're averaging 18.5, what does that mean? That means you have jobs below 18.5, $6,000 jobs, and above 18.5, $30,000 jobs. But you're averaging about 18.5. But do you think that the $6,000 jobs have the same amount of headaches as the $30,000 jobs? The answer is yes, they do. And so you got to say, okay, which ones are more profitable for me? Which ones, by putting the time, the energy, and the effort, myself, my team, so on and so forth, are going to pay off the way I want them to pay off? And which ones are just not worth it? And we went back and we looked at his jobs and we said, wait a minute, these $6,000 jobs on paper have the same margins. The problem was with issues that inevitably happen on the job site because the numbers, the dollar amount was so small. One little error is all it took to lose money. So he made a decision. No more jobs below $10,000. And he actually ended up increasing that to, I think it was 15,000, right? Which brought his average way up to 35 to 40,000. Okay. Now, what does that have to do with you? I want you to think right now, what kind of jobs are you saying yes to? But because you're saying yes to, you don't have the time, you don't have the focus, you don't have the energy, or you don't have the money to go after the bigger jobs with the better margins and the better clients. What kind of jobs is it for you, right? How many of you would say yes to any job? Hey, I need a ceiling fan. Or, hey, there was a couple shingles that fell off. Or, hey, I got this little piece of concrete that I need to fix. How many of you are still saying yes to those little jobs? Again, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but if you're at the point where you're really looking at scaling, you're usually between 500K and let's call it 2.5 million. Okay. You're in that sweet spot. You're really looking at scaling your business. The biggest and best thing that you can do is say, what are we saying yes to and what are we saying no to? Now, a lot of you guys are like, well, wait a minute. Well, I'm a GC. I can do everything. Yeah, maybe you can, but maybe you shouldn't. Right? We have GCs that we work with inside of this network, right? And again, Thomas was one of them. He was doing basements, he was doing additions, he was doing kitchens, he was doing baths, he was doing fireplace, he was doing everything. And I said, well, which ones have the best margins for you? And which ones do you enjoy doing? Kitchens and baths. Sweet. Let's just do that. Last year, he doubled revenue. He went from about 2.5 million to about 5 million. By saying no. Okay. So I want you to think about it right now in your business, where you're at right now. In order for you to grow to the numbers, to the levels that you want to be at, what kind of jobs do you have to say no to? What jobs are they? Right? And by the way, for some of you, it may be the reverse. It may be the like, yeah, you've got relationships and connections. You can land a 7-figure job, but it's you and 3 guys. Like, how the hell are you going to do a 7-figure job? You're not. You're going to lay an egg. You're going to lose money and you're going to ruin your reputation. So what is it for you? What are the jobs that right now you have to learn to say no to? What are the jobs that right now you know you're wasting your time on? Okay. Give you another example. We got an electrician we work with. Mace is his name. Love Mace. He is awesome, right? By the way, he loves the outdoors, all kinds of crazy stuff outdoors. He asked to be on our bid list for some of the jobs that we had, right? And we started sending him jobs. And then I would ask him the next week or the next 2 weeks and be like, hey, man, did you take a look at that RFP? Did you get some numbers together for me? Did you? Nah, man, I didn't have time. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't have time? He's like, man, I get inundated with, bid requests all the time. And I can never get around to them. I'm like, that's a problem, right? That is a huge problem. So I want you to think about you and your business. Okay. Here we are, this beautiful Monday in March. Spring's right around the corner. I say that and watch, it's going to snow, but spring is right around the corner. Okay. And you have a massive opportunity this year. And that is to establish yourself as the company that does the thing, right? What is the thing that you do? What is the thing that you're known for? Is it new homes? Is it spec homes in the $2.5 to $5 million range? Is it, electrical, but it's electrical that has to do with, solar or battery or, Tesla chargers, right? Like, what is the thing for you that you want to be known for? There's plenty of plumbing jobs out there. There's plenty of electrical jobs, roofing, concrete, remodel. There's plenty of jobs, but the better job that you can do is saying, we are this company that does this thing. The higher the likelihood that your business will grow this year. Can't guarantee anything in life, right? But I have a pretty sneaky suspicion that it's going to happen. The same thing with us this year. I can show up. We just met with a company out of Arizona. They do $750 million a year. Big dog, right? By the way, for those of you that don't know, our business is more in the commercial space. But they're a big dog. We sat down. We had these garlic burgers, which, by the way, were delicious, except for the rest of the day, all I tasted was garlic. But we sat down and we had lunch, right? And we talked. And they're like, what do you do? And we're like, interiors. They're like, what kind of interiors? We said, framing, paint, drywall. Anything else? Nope. That's it. Hey, we've got this painting job up over here downtown. You interested? Yes, we are. Like, that's it. These guys are doing multi-million dollar, $10 million plus projects, but we're not interested in everything because we can't handle everything. But we can handle framing, we can handle paint, and we can handle drywall. And that's what we're going to go after. So my challenge for you guys this week, and really this month, right, is to start to get clear on the type of work that you want to be known for, the type of work that you're comfortable with, the type of work that you're good at, that ultimately people can say, that guy or that gal, those are the people that I want to work with. We got a comment here from James. He says, the first no is scary. Eventually they become fun. I like that. And he's not wrong, right? The first no is always scary. When you have an opportunity to make money on paper, opportunity to make money, and you're like, I'm sorry, like, I'm not your guy. Like, we can't help you with that. But then it just becomes easier because you are the person who does the thing. We went to the home show this weekend. I'll show you some clips next week. We went to the home show this weekend. It was so interesting to talk to some of the vendors there. Some of them were friends of mine. Some of them I didn't know. But it was so interesting to talk to them and realize how many of them were focused. This is what we do. And how many of them were not. Oh, yeah, we can do that. Right? Again, become known for the person that does the thing. That's who you want to be. Way easier to refer you to, by the way, and way easier to advertise as well. All right. That's all I got for you guys. It is a beautiful Monday in March 9th. Let's get after it. Go become the expert in your area for the thing that you can go crush it this year. Excited to see your results. All right. You guys know what time it is. It's time to get after it. 3, 2, 1. Off you go.